The rest of the story. A misanthrope. That's a hater of mankind. Sam was a misanthrope. I am the only man living who understands human nature, he once said. When I get over to the other side, I shall use my influence to have the human race drowned again, and this time drowned for good. No omissions and no ark. And for Sam, this was no joke. He genuinely despised people. Once he berated man as a poor creature who begins as dirt and departs as stench, created for no purpose except the entertainment of microbes. According to Sam, evolution failed when man appeared. For he has the only evil heart in all of the animal kingdom, Sam said. Every human is pathetic, Sam said. Pity is for the living. Envy is for the dead. Sam was a miserable man, full of rage and contempt and scorn and despair. For his own amusement, he once rewrote the lyrics to the Battle Hymn of the Republic so that they read, "Greed is marching on." To a business associate, he once wrote, "Please put yourself in my place and contemplate the grisly grotesqueness of the situation." Not that the sympathy of associates would have been much comfort to Sam. He often referred to those with whom he did business as scoundrels intent on defrauding him. The times in which Sam lived he described as cheerless, though surely any time in history would have fit that description for cynical Sam. He greeted most public issues with disdain, with a vast, almost unreal bitterness. "I've been reading the morning paper," he once remarked. "I do it every morning, well knowing that I shall find in it the usual depravities and baseness and hypocrisies and cruelties that make up civilization." And how did Sam's fellow man, whom he so bitterly despised, regard him? Well, a few called him vulgar. But you'd be interested to know that the great majority of those who came in contact with Sam thought he was the original fun guy. Why? Because for the most part, Sam kept his burning hatred of people a secret. He kept his misanthropy to himself. What is the making of a misanthrope, a hater of mankind? Well, it's been said that what a man sees in the human race is merely himself in the deep and private honesty of his own heart. In fact, it was Sam who said that. And yet the profundity of that rationalization was insufficient to quell the bitterness which only increased throughout his life. Sam also observed that, quote, "the secret source of humor is not joy, but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven," he said. And yet if Sam did make it to heaven, surely the joy he gave to millions followed him through the pearly gates. For Sam, the closet misanthrope, the private hater of humanity, was also the public humorist, adored while he lived and revered to this day. Despising people, he became a cynical wit. Pitying man, he made men laugh. Sam Clemens. That's right. Mark Twain. Only now you know the rest of the story.
Mark Twain, the man behind the legend. Mark Twain, born Samuel Langhorne Clemens on November 30, 1835 in Florida, Missouri, is one of America's most celebrated writers. Known for his sharp wit, keen observations of human nature, and timeless storytelling, Twain crafted some of the most enduring works in American literature, including The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1876, and Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, 1885. Early life and adventures. Twain grew up in Hannibal, Missouri, a bustling river town that later became the inspiration for the fictional St. Petersburg and Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. His early life was shaped by the Mississippi River, which fascinated him and influenced much of his writing. After his father died when Twain was just 11, he left school and became a printer's apprentice, later working as a typesetter for local newspapers. As a young man, Twain sought adventure. He trained as a steamboat pilot on the Mississippi, a career that deeply influenced his perspective and even his pen name. Mark Twain was a riverboat term meaning 2 fathoms deep, safe water for navigation. However, the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861 ended his piloting career. After a brief, reluctant stint in a Confederate militia, Twain abandoned the war and headed west to Nevada and California, trying his luck at prospecting and eventually finding his true calling in journalism. Rise to fame. Twain's big break came in 1865 when his humorous short story, The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, was published. The story's success propelled him into the literary spotlight, leading to lectures and assignments that took him across the country and overseas. In 1869, he published The Innocents Abroad, a satirical account of his travels in Europe and the Holy Land, further cementing his reputation as a master of humor and social critique. His greatest works, however, were yet to come. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer captured the mischievous innocence of childhood, while Adventures of Huckleberry Finn tackled deeper themes of race, morality, and freedom, often through biting satire. Twain's ability to blend humor with serious social commentary made him not just an entertainer, but a keen observer of American life. A complicated man. Despite his charm and humor, Twain was a man of contradictions. He was both an idealist and a cynic, a man who could make the world laugh while privately grappling with deep disappointment in humanity. Over time, Twain's view of people darkened, influenced by personal tragedies and financial troubles. He lost much of his fortune in bad investments, particularly in a failed typesetting machine, and was forced to go on exhausting lecture tours to pay off his debts. His later works, such as The Mysterious Stranger, reveal a more bitter and disillusioned Twain, one who questioned the nature of mankind and the existence of morality itself. Yet, even as his outlook grew darker, his wit remained sharp, and his observations about society still resonate today. Legacy Mark Twain died on April 21, 1910, but his influence on American literature and culture endures. His works continue to be studied, quoted, and debated. He was more than a humorist. He was a social critic, a philosopher, and a storyteller whose words still hold a mirror up to human nature. Twain once wrote, "The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated." In a way, he was right. Though the man is gone, the legend of Mark Twain lives on.